Finding problems? That's easy. They exist in every community. I'm Terry Springs, your host. We're looking deeper, and we are talking solutions, finding out how we all can make a difference. This is going to be fun. We're going to do a special theme to today's program, and I just want to do a quick shout out to the group that inspired it. Everybody involved with the Poppy Foundation. This is the third year where they're doing Valentine's Day from noon to 3 with the bake sale, a raffle, Mystic Mona doing the psychic readings for the charity, manicures, all kinds of fun stuff. And I just want to say thank you because it made me think that Valentine's is all about love and we love our pets. That's what today's show is all about. First up, I got Lisa Browder in from Nathan Adelson Hospice. Nice to meet you.
You too.
We have a special fondness in our hearts here at Beasley Media Group for Nathan Adelson Hospice.
Well, we like that.
We do too. I don't believe it's ever really fun to talk about end-of-life issues, but it's part of life.
You haven't talked about the stuff I have in my program yet.
I can't wait. You notice that I'm wearing a shirt that has little cats on it.
Yes.
And a cat necklace, and I'm into animals. Everybody knows that. And when it comes to also family members, friends, coworkers, we're going to deal with this, I'm sure, a number of times. Lisa, how did you come to work for hospice? Because I don't know, do you wake up one morning and go, that's what I should be doing?
Almost. Actually, this goes back to 1986. Nathan Adelson did a fundraiser called the Butterfly Ball. What they did was take society women and work them into the show at Bally's, into Jubilee. Well, I was in Jubilee at the time. I was a dancer, so I was rehearsing with these people every day, and I happened to meet the manager of all the volunteers. He trained the volunteers, and he was an ex-dancer, so we had the dancing in common. And then we started talking about hospice, and for whatever reason, it just resonated with me. I think it kind of has to do that. And it just immediately was something that I was interested in and I knew I wanted to do, so I went through the volunteer training. Over a 20-year period, I spent about 10 years as a volunteer. Then I came on as an employee, and it'll be 10 years the end of February. It's a wonderful organization, and I've seen both sides, both volunteer and employee, and I know what a wonderful job they do.
Lisa, was it performing on the Strip at Bally's that brought you to Las Vegas in the first place?
Dancing brought me to Las Vegas. I didn't start in Jubilee. I started in a show called Casino de Paris at the Dunes, which, of course, is no longer there.
I love that
I'm giving away my age by saying that.
I'm right there with you because I remember staying at the Flamingo the first time I visited in the late 80s, watching that Dune sign light up and down and up and
the
down.
Sultan, right?
Yeah, I loved it. Lisa Browder is with us today on Talking Solutions. Nathan Adelson Hospice, you were saying that your topic related to Nathan Adelson is going to be a little lighter.
It is. I have all the really interesting things. My program is called the Bonnie Schreck Memorial Complementary Therapies Program. What it is all the little extras that make life a little easier for the patients and the families. They give them some of the quality that maybe they've been missing by trying to cure things that aren't going to be fixed, probably. So, having said that, in my program, we have massage, reflexology, pet therapy, aromatherapy, and art therapy. Sometimes we have a musician, sometimes we don't. But they're all little extra things that just make things a little better.
I have heard in previous discussions about Nathan Adelson Hospice about the massage, about the aromatherapy, but the pet angle is kind of what we're focusing on today.
Right. It's a big part of the program. There are few people who come in that don't appreciate pets or have pets of their own that they miss. So to have a pet come in and spend time with them takes their mind off of what's going on, or it just brings back wonderful memories of their own animals or when they were a child with animals. It's just a soothing thing. And if it's someone that's conscious of how they look, we've had women who come in and they don't want visitors because they don't think they look good. The dog doesn't care. So you can have this dog come in and give you unconditional love and the time and attention you need, and you don't have to worry about how you look, how you feel. They're just there for you. It's a really very special program. The fun thing that we do every year, this is the 5th year we've done this, it's our pet shelter drive. And because so many of the dogs in our program are shelter animals, our pet therapists are well aware of what these animals go through in the shelters. Many of them have been abandoned. They're cold a lot of times. They're scared, mainly scared, but they're in an environment that's foreign to them, which just adds to their fright. So if we can give back to the programs in some capacity, then maybe the next little animal that gets adopted, their owner will come to us and bring that animal in as a pet therapist. So what we do is ask the community to bring us new or gently used beds, towels, blankets, linens, unopened food, and we give back to all of these organizations. I started off this time with 8, and I've had 2 added on since this year's drive started. So there are a lot of them out there that need some help.
We've got tremendous needs as far as shelter animals here in Clark County. It's getting better. I'm very deeply into our whole animal issue that we deal with here. The overpopulation, the things that animals go through. I'm actually on the board of a cat charity, which frequently is referred to as a cat hospice.
Oh, really?
Yes, because the Poppy Foundation has to do with abused, abandoned, chronically ill cats that need special medication, special diets. It makes it more expensive for us to care for those animals, but we give them a really good quality of life in-house at the Poppy Foundation. And in many cases, it's a situation where the cat is dealing with end of life, and we're trying to take care of it and give it the best experience.
I actually know of the Poppy Foundation. The last cat that I adopted about a year ago, I had to get permission from them to take that animal home.
Because not all of our animals are adoptable, and we realize that most of them will spend their lives out at the Poppy Foundation. That's where my passion is as far as being a board member. So I do see some comparisons with the kind of approach that you've got at Nathan Adelson Hospice, but I was not really aware of the pet therapy program. So I was wondering where the animals come from. The animals don't actually live on site.
No, not at all. It's our volunteers, wherever they hear of us. I go to a lot of the pet events, so they'll hear of us there or refer to us, and they bring their own animals in. They have to be a member of a national organization because it comes with a liability policy, and we know that they're trained. We know that they can sit and stay, and they're not dragging the owner around, and they're safe on our property. They do have to do that, but they're wonderful animals, and people just love them. Can I tell you a quick story?
I would love that.
Wonderful. We have a pet therapist who comes in every week, Lynn, and his little dog Tux. And we had a dementia patient at one of our properties. I was sitting in my office, and I was talking to someone, and all of a sudden we hear this yelling coming from this patient's room. Oh, my God. Well, of course, everyone went running from every direction. What's happened in this room? Turns out that this little dementia patient thought that it was his dog that they had brought in to visit him. Isn't that special?
Oh, so sweet.
It was just wonderful. So he got to spend time with his dog that he thought was his, and nobody told him any differently. And it just made his day. That's the type of thing I love to see.
And when you've got someone who is dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's, they don't recognize so much. Even if it's a mistaken situation, if you think that pet that you love so much is right there in front of you.
Look at the quality it gave him.
Nathan Adelson Hospice is all about quality of life.
Agreed.
Lisa Browder is with us. We're talking about the pet therapy program and the 5th annual pet shelter drive that is on. I know that this is going on till late February, is that right?
The end of February, all the way through the month.
How would people donate?
We have 4 different locations here in town. They can come and drop off stuff at any of those locations. If they're not sure where they are, they can give me a call at 702-733-0320. Just ask for Lisa Browder and be happy to give them directions to whichever facility is closest to where they live. Then we sort them from there to be sure that everybody's getting their fair share and take them around. I have volunteers that help me with deliveries. They're going out every day. I already have close to 800 items that have been donated. Isn't that wonderful?
It is. It's sweet to know that these shelter animals are so instrumental in helping you with this pet therapy program with Nathan Adelson Hospice, and that as individuals, we can turn around and give back.
Exactly.
It's a real win-win.
It really is. And you know something else that we have? It's not part of my pet therapy program that's really focused on the animals coming in to visit the patients. But at Nathan Adelson, we also have a bereavement group for pet owners who've recently lost pets. You're a pet lover.
Yes.
So am I. So you probably know that to lose a pet, it just weighs on your heart somehow.
There's no replacing them. I lost a 17-year-old kitty just a few months back. And yeah, it's a hole in your heart that won't be filled.
We have support groups.
I was unaware.
Well, it's new. It's fairly new.
Lisa, are you the one who came up with this idea?
No, the pet therapy program was there before I came in. The whole complementary therapies program started before I was an employee, but I've expanded it in different ways since I got there.
I'm betting that it not only helps the people who are in hospice care, but the families who are around them going through this experience as well. That pet therapy benefits them too.
You know, it can break the the ice in a room, a lot of times you'll have families and sometimes neighbors, friends sitting in the room who have nothing to do to take care of the patient, and they've sort of exhausted their conversation, so they're just sitting there. And it's wonderful to have this little animal come in to break the ice and give them something else to focus on for a little while, or just get their minds off of the conversation that's been in the room for a while. Let them talk about something else. It's great in every capacity. Patients, families, friends, everyone.
I think it's important also for us to note that a lot of people think that hospice is a place. Hospice is a service.
Hospice is a philosophy. It really is. When you can't have the quantity, we want to give you the quality, and it makes such a difference. I'll give you a good example. We actually had a lady that came into one of our facilities, fairly young. This goes back a few years. Word had it that she was maybe suicidal, so they wanted to delve into that and see if that was the issue. The issue was that she was painful, and she just couldn't stand the pain anymore. So we adjusted the medications that she had, and within about, maybe a day, 2 days, this person was up decorating her room.
Wow.
So it makes a huge difference if you can take care of the pain and you can give them some of those little extra things to let them know you matter, then it matters.
The commercials that run with Brad Garrett talking about Nathan Adelson Hospice, he's not a compensated spokesperson.
No, he's not.
He just has dealt with Nathan Adelson Hospice in a situation that was important to him.
That's correct. He had a friend that was on our service, I believe, a few years back, and he was very impressed with the care that they got and the extra things that everyone did to make them comfortable and offered to help out, and has certainly been true to his word there.
Oh, he's been great. Beasley Media Group was involved with Serenades of Life at the Smith Center a couple months back.
It's a fundraiser for my program.
Really?
Yes, for the complementary therapies.
It was a wonderful night, and he came on to be the MC. You get such a warm feeling from all of the services provided by Nathan Adelson Hospice. You're connected for life.
You know why I think some of that is? Because, like you said, people don't want to talk about it. Nevertheless, we all know one day we're going to be in that position. So when you see how well someone else is taken care of, you look at that and you go, that could be me one day. I'd like that kind of care. That's where I think the difference really comes in.
I was really good with the denial thing. I'm convinced, Lisa, 100 years is not going to be good enough. I'm going to need about 225. And at that point in time, then maybe I'll call on Nathan Adelson Hospice.
You're as bad as I am. I keep saying I'm going to live to be 150. And I have a feeling I'm going to be a little disappointed.
Well, every day is so worth it. I don't want to give up any of those days. But one of the things that's pointed out by even the commercials that you see for Nathan Adelson Hospice is that end of life is part of life, and that those days are also precious.
Why not be able to enjoy them?
Yeah, take every single day and squeeze every minute out of it.
Well, we'll help with that.
If someone is in need of the services, it's the sort of thing that would be referred maybe through your doctor.
Yes, you have to have a doctor referral. But we have an admissions department, and you can call and just say, I have some questions about hospice. They can answer those for you. Then you can go back to your physician and say, my loved one or whoever it is, I think they're in need of hospice and I'd like a referral. You can start that process. Most people don't. They don't know that they can do that, which is unfortunate because maybe they see a family member that they are aware could use hospice now, and they don't want to wait for a doctor that they may see infrequently to realize that. So they can start the process by calling us.
There are a lot of hospices around, but the thing that makes Nathan Adelson Hospice different is that you are not for profit.
That's correct. We are the largest nonprofit in all of Southern Nevada, and we do over $1 million in indigent care every year. We take care of you regardless of your ability to pay, which I think is fantastic. I think it affects the quality of the care that you get. That's my personal opinion.
Do you think that the kind of person who ends up working for Nathan Adelson Hospice is a little different? I think all hospice people are angels. That's why I asked that question.
Some of my friends might argue with that. You know, I didn't used to think so, but the longer I'm there, the more I realize that it does take a sort of a certain frame of mind in order to do that day in and day out. But it has changed me in very subtle ways. I'm better able to look at something from someone else's viewpoint and say, if that were me, what would I want? Which is helpful if you have patients and family come in who are angry with too many medical tests or whatever it is that they're angry with. And so they haven't made friends with with you yet. They don't quite understand what it is that you do, and maybe you do something and they're angry and they take it out on you. It's a whole lot easier to deal with that if you go, what might I be feeling if I were in that person's shoes?
I can understand how someone would say, I can't believe this is happening. This isn't supposed to be happening yet. There are programs, what do they call it? The pediatric hospice? That's just not right. That kind of feeling could lead to expressions of anger.
Sure, that's a hard one.
And so for people to realize that hospice happens through all kinds of different age groups, experiences, situations, it's unfortunate that we need it, but as we said before, it's a part of life. End of life is part of life.
You know, I've been to health fairs where people have come by and they've seen Nathan Adelson Hospice and they've gone, oh, I don't need that right now. Well, you may not now, but you may at some time in the future, and maybe you have neighbors or relatives or somebody that might need it soon. So it's a good topic to explore. Whether or not you're ready for it now, it's good to know it's available.
When I first started discussing hospice long ago, it seemed like it was a difficult topic, but it's really not. You need to open your mind and your heart to the knowledge that at some point in time, someone you know or someone you love is going to need it. And I know that about a year and a half ago, I went through this out of state, different hospice organization, still Hospice Angels, for my dad.
Oh.
And through the last phase of Parkinson's and such a difficult ending, they were there with this unwavering care.
Well, and you know, you need to know that you have options in every direction, that somebody in this one organization can point you in the right direction for whatever it is that's concerning you at the moment. I had a friend not too long ago who was on our service, kind of getting up there in years, and had always had a hard exterior, very hard exterior, but I knew her to have a really loving heart, and I was doing reflexology on her, and out of the blue she said to me, Lisa, I'm scared. That's not my field, but I do know people that can help. We have those services. So I just stopped and I said, well, why don't we talk about that a minute? Tell me what it is that you're scared of, and let's see if we can get someone to come in and help with that. It's nice to be able to do that rather than sit there and go, oh my gosh, I know this person, they're scared and I don't know what to do about that. We have all of that.
It's nice to know that you have those resources. If I was in that situation, somebody told me they were scared, I think I'd just have to say I'm scared too, and a hug, and look for somebody who can help take it farther.
All of the above.
Yeah, exactly. Nathan Adelson Hospice has so many different programs within what they do for our community. Lisa Browder is with us, and we're talking about the pet therapy program, which is part of the, complementary therapies?
The Bonnie Schreck Memorial Complementary Therapies Program.
A lot of things in there with the massage and the aromatherapy and
reflexology, pet therapy. We have an art therapist. We have all kinds of good stuff.
Hospice doesn't necessarily take place in any one spot. It's not necessarily under the roof of the hospice. It happens in people's homes. When it comes to the pet therapy,
most of ours actually come into the 2 inpatient units. It's just easier, I think, for the pet therapist. They know where they're going. It's a set place, and they don't have to map quest somewhere. So most of them are in the inpatient units right now.
Who brings the animals? How does that work?
Anyone that wants to volunteer for us, they come in, and sometimes they come in knowing they can be a pet therapist. Other times they find that out when they go through our volunteer training and say, oh, I have a great dog. I'd really like to do that. So as long as they take their dog through one of the national organizations and get the training and the testing and join, so they have their little membership card and we know that the dog has been tested and can obey orders, then they set up a schedule with me. They decide what day and sort of morning, afternoon, or evening they would like to come in. We ask that they come in once a week if possible, but of course life happens, and if they can't make it, they just let me know. And if someone has requested a pet therapist, then I can call another one and say, Susie can't be here today. Mary, can you come? Or whoever it is, and fill in that gap if we have people who particularly want to see pet therapists. And we do have patients who come in and say, I want to see every dog that comes in the door, and we try to make that happen.
I want to see every animal. I get that. That's a neat idea. A pet owner who is listening to us right now may want to have their animal be part of the pet therapy program.
Give me a call.
Yes. I've got a number too for Lisa Browder, 702-733-0320. I'll make sure that number, the links and everything are on our Talking Solutions Facebook page, where we also have a podcast of today's interview.
Great.
I just love it. I've done work in the past, working with things like Children's Miracle Network. We'll be doing a broadcast or something from St. Rose in Henderson, where the Children's Miracle Network is located here in our area. Someone will bring through a therapy dog, and I don't care who you are. Everybody just, oh, look, we're all doing selfies with the dog. We're talking about the dog. We're petting the dog. We're loving on the dog. It just brings a warm feeling to, I won't say to everyone, but I'll say to almost everyone. Some people do have some natural fears.
Sure.
They might be scared of dogs. They may not be a dog person. But what I see across the board is pretty much everybody is really happy to see the dog.
And you know, they have therapeutic benefits as well. They did a study at MD Anderson in Houston on the effects of pet therapy, and they found that after visits, the patients had lowered blood pressure, lowered heart rates, lowered respiratory rates, and they slept better. So if just having a dog come in and visit for a few minutes can do that, wow, that's a win-win.
That's a non-drug therapy.
It is.
I love this idea. Pet therapy is part of what is offered with Nathan Adelson Hospice, and right now we've got the 5th annual pet shelter drive going on through the end of February. And you're looking for things like pet beds, blankets, unopened pet food,
linens, towels, washcloths. Washcloths are big. If you have animals that come into the shelters and they sometimes have to clean the animals or clean up after them. We also give to some of the fostering organizations, so they're really interested in towels and sheets and things like that.
It's amazing to know how much of this we go through.
I was kind of surprised at how many organizations there are and how many animals are being taken care of in this valley. It's enormous.
Well, we've had a big problem for a lot of years. The bell curve is coming in our favor now, but we needed to get our spay and neuter ordinances in place all throughout the valley, make it so that people need to be responsible pet owners. And we're starting to see some of the benefits of that. It just takes a long time.
It really does.
Do you have any kind of estimate or idea how many pets are involved in a pet therapy program? How many people are part of complementary therapies?
In the pet therapy program right now, I have 14 teams. And 3 more going through volunteer training. So we'll have 17 in a couple of weeks, 17 teams that come in. And they divide up their time so that they're not there at the same time. So there's this rotation of animals coming through to make sure that everybody gets a fair share.
So if someone had an animal and they said, my animal is full of love and I'd like to share it with people, then they could get involved in the pet therapy program.
Oh, yeah, we'd love that. They can get in touch with me, and if they don't already have the training, I could give them references to several different organizations, and they can choose which one they want to go to get their dog certified. Or they can wait and go through our training and then do it however they'd like, because we have all kinds of things that they can do. They don't have to just be a pet therapist. They can help our organization in a variety of ways.
And pet owner or not, you could be part of the 5th annual Pet Shelter Drive that is hosted by Nathan Adelson Hospice that benefits shelter pets all over the valley.
It's great. Bring me your blankets and your towels.
Give me your unopened pet food.
I'll take it.
It's on through the end of the month, and the information, as we mentioned, is going to be on the Talking Solutions Facebook page. Also, NAH.org. for any general information about Nathan Adelson Hospice.
Correct.
And to get a hold of you, Lisa Browder, as far as getting involved in the pet therapy program, general questions, anything of that nature, 702-733-0320.
Correct. They can also email me, and it's my first initial L, my last name Browder, which is BROWDER @NAH.org.
Lots of ways to get in touch, lots of ways to get involved.
We like that the best.
I think so. It's a great organization. I'm a big fan of Hospice and the angels who work there. And Lisa Browder, we want to thank you for coming in to join us today.
No, thank you so much for having me, really.
Glad to have you here on Talking Solutions.
Thank you.
Hi, guys. This is Cheryl Greenblatt, the Director of Communications and Cuddling for Hearts Alive Village Animal Rescue. Have you ever thought about fostering a dog? Hearts Alive pays for everything. All you do is give time, a place to stay, and love to an amazing animal in need. Want to find out more? Check out havlv.com or stop into our adoption center and pet supply store at 1750 South Rainbow Boulevard, Unit 4. That's just south of Charleston, and we will give you all the information and hope hopefully you can take home a dog.
Hi, I'm Karen Lane with the Las Vegas Valley Humane Society. We have a volunteer orientation coming up February the 20th, beginning at 2 p.m. We're looking for all kinds of volunteers. If you want additional information, you can find it at our website at lvvhumane.org. Hope to see you there.
I don't know if you missed the opening of today's show, but it's a theme program on Talking Solutions for Valentine's Day, all about our love for pets. Thanks again to those who inspired us. The Poppy Foundation, every Valentine's Day, they do a special Poppy Valentine's for the Cats sale from noon to 3 at the Poppy Foundation up on Sky Point Drive. I'm a proud member of the board for that charity. And if you don't know about the Poppy Foundation, I invite you to take a look at thepoppyfoundation.org, their website, or the Poppy Foundation on Facebook. Hope you can stay with us. Coming up next, going to check in with our friends at the Las Vegas Valley Humane Society on Talking Solutions.